The concept of the powerlifting platform was developed mainly to protect the floor, especially with the deadlift. Of course, in a competition, you're going to have your bench press up there, you're going to have your squat up there. So, again, it's there to protect the floor if you drop your bar and the squat. If you've got your bench press up there, you're probably changing out plates that are lying on the floor, on the platform. Again, it's just there to protect the floor. In a powerlifting competition, a legal platform is 3 sheets of 4x8 plywood, so it's 8 by 12 feet. Now in the gym, a lot of times we'll make up a little platform, just a 4x8 piece of plywood, or 2 of those, which would be 8x8. So how do we build one of these? Well, you can actually purchase a platform. Most of them are inferior, with the exception of the Forza platform, which is a steel reinforced platform with a rubber deck. It's a wonderful platform, but it's $1,000. Now, for about $100, you can build a plywood and rubber platform. Now, I've prepared a schematic here, and you can see that it's a very, very detailed schematic showing a 4x8 platform. Now, this can also be done as an 8x8 platform, just double the material that you have here. You're going to put the 2 pieces of 4x8 plywood together and brace them. But anyway, let's take a look at the basic 4x8 platform. Now what you're going to have are 2 pieces of 3/4 inch 4x8 plywood, and screw those together. Don't nail those together. The screw is going to be a lot stronger. And then on top of that, you would place a 1/2 inch Diamondback rubber, if you can find it. The Diamondback is superior to, say, a rubber that's just not Diamondback, but it's just slick. And that slickness, you can if you've got baby powder on the platform, you can slip, especially with a sumo lifter. So you want to find Diamondback if you can. Now it might be very difficult to find a 4x8 piece. I've got some 3x6 pieces, but you might have to do some cutting. So don't be surprised if you have to. So there's another aspect of this platform that adds another dimension to your performance, and that is the 2x4s. Now, you can place the plywood and the rubber on the floor, and that will protect the floor. But if you use 2x4s underneath that plywood, you're going to have shock absorption, and it's going to reduce the noise, especially if you're using iron plates. But it's also going to give you a bounce. You're going to be able to bounce that way if you're doing touch and goes, and it just feels wonderful. So what you would do is you would place your 2x4s on end, okay? And if you've got a 4-foot piece of plywood by 8 feet, looking on end as we are in this diagram, you're going to place one every 7.2 or 7 1/5 inches, 6 of those. Okay, that's how that would space out. Now, your bar's going to be in front of you like this, so that's the way you want to have your plywood underneath that platform. Okay, you don't want to have it. You want to have it parallel to the bar. You don't want to have it perpendicular, because if you do, those plates are going to come down possibly between 2 pieces of a 2x4 and possibly create a hole. So you want to have your 2x4s running in parallel with your bar, okay? And we've got them spaced, pretty close together, 7 1/5 inches. And if you can afford it, you can even space them closer than that, and that'll be great. But you've got to deal with the weight when you want to move that platform, and these are heavy platforms, okay? So again, this is probably going to cost you about $100. Now, I would probably put handles on all 4 sides of this platform, but you got to remember now, you're going to cut your 8-foot pieces of 2x4 2 inches short on each end, because you're going to take another 4-foot section of 2x4 and cover each end. Okay, not only does that cover up the 2x4 standing on end, but it also braces those 2x4s at each end of that platform. So, and you don't see that in this diagram because this is an open diagram. The end is open. The end of this platform is open in this diagram, but I want to make sure you understand that. So again, this is probably maybe 3 hours to make one of these, and your set, they'll last a lifetime, and probably you won't want to move it I know I had an 8 foot by 8 foot platform in my gym, and when I closed my gym, I had to take the circular saw to it, and the pieces ended up out in the alley. It was more than I could handle. It was more than 2 people could handle. So give it a try. I think you'll enjoy it, and you'll be satisfied with it. And the cost, you can't beat the cost.